So, we've been talking a lot about the lack of significant Nintendo news lately, specifically how the outlook for 2020 seemed pretty weak. Going off of that most recent financial report they released, it wasn't too uplifting to see pretty much nothing past Clubhouse Games coming out June 5th. It was starting to seem like, at least for the next few months, things were going to be pretty bare in terms of Nintendo Switch releases. But then, yesterday, from a random tweet, Nintendo revealed a new Paper Mario game, Paper Mario: The Origami King, bringing a much-needed jolt of excitement to the Nintendo community. Now, I'm not Arlo, not an authority on the Paper Mario series, but from the trailer, I thought it looked good. I definitely like the origami aesthetic at face value way more than some of the other themes we've gotten in past releases. I'll say that. Partners are supposedly back. You've got this arms mechanic where I guess you use different stretch arms to solve puzzles, which... Are we just trying to get arms into everything now? Is that the deal? Like, is every game just going to be some sort of side ad for arms? It's crazy. Also, for me, can't go wrong with a little bit of Metroid. They had that little bit at the end. Could it be teasing something? Probably not, but I'm so desperate for anything Metroid now. You gotta let me have this. I'm gonna take this as something Metroid-related is coming soon. And this reveal also lends credence to some of the past rumors we've gotten about a Mario sort of blowout this year, with the talk of the 3D Mario remasters, a port of 3D World, all that. Part of that leak, I guess, did say we were also going to see a new Paper Mario game this year. Yeah, the Origami King announcement doesn't necessarily prove that all this stuff is coming, but I think it lends a little bit more credibility to it. That's how I typically try to take leaks. First, I just believe anything I read on the internet. Then if parts of a rumor, a leak start to become true, I believe it even more. Hasn't failed me yet. And there also have been rumblings about Pikmin in here as well. VentureBeat, I know, is doubling down on the 3D World rumors and saying that those, as well as a Pikmin 3 Deluxe, is coming soon. So it's seeming more and more like Nintendo Switch will have games in 2020. Sadly, Clubhouse Games is not going to be the final Nintendo Switch game. Would have been nice to go out on a high note with that one, but I guess we'll have to play some more. So it's kind of sounding like 2020 may be saved, but I noticed some people were actually a bit turned off by this announcement, not necessarily the game itself, but the way it was made. And the question has kind of been, why was this announcement made like this? Completely out of nowhere, I think is literally the reaction I saw the most in regards to the Origami King, that it was, quote, out of nowhere. But if Nintendo has this game, more games coming on top of it, why not do a direct for them? One thing I would consider is just how differently everyone is playing things in this age of COVID. I fully expected when E3 was canceled that everyone was going to be pretty much doing the same things they always do in terms of big presentations, like a mega stream. Just the format would be different, and those events would be more spread out. But that's not what we've been seeing. Instead, developers, publishers seem to be taking even more advantage of being able to just kind of drop stuff on their own time. Things kind of kicked off with the Assassin's Creed Valhalla reveal. More recently, we got like the Mafia trilogy and Tony Hawk remasters, Origami King's announcement, as well as the Ghost of Tsushima presentation. Both happened yesterday. Pretty much every day I'm waking up wondering like, okay, well, what's going to be revealed or shown off today? Personally, I really like this. I've always been a big advocate of spreading things out more, giving individual games a chance to shine, and I just think it's cool being surprised with this stuff on almost a daily basis right now, especially with a game like Origami King. It's a big game, but not as big as like a core Mario, a Zelda, something like that. So with this game, if we say had a big direct, and this was the major reveal, like close the show out or something, it probably wouldn't have gotten as much hype as it did just randomly appearing out of nowhere. So I think in terms of the hype for the games we are probably going to be dealing with right now, again, the stuff that seems more and more likely is like those Mario remasters, perhaps the Pikmin 3, something with Pikmin it sounds like. While they are significant, it may not be stuff that's really worth building entire directs around. And also in terms of the actual business perspective, like many have said with Origami King coming in July, they could have surely shown it in that past Direct Mini in March. And I am 100% in agreement that they could have shown the game then, but I think the issue now with some of these games, even if they are close to release, may still be nailing down those release dates. As well, I definitely think they could have shown the game off back then. I don't know necessarily if when they were putting that direct together, if they were necessarily certain that the game was going to hit that July 17th release date. They may not have come to that hard conclusion until recently. Again, with the COVID stuff going on, development predictions like that are probably tougher to make, and they may be in a position where they do have all this other stuff and it's close to release, it's just about ready, and maybe it is enough for like a big direct or something, but they may not want to worry about like having to switch release dates and that around later. Going off of that last direct, they seem pretty cautious about the release date thing right now. It started off with the whole COVID disclaimer stating, what was it, like everything in this video is subject to change, and they didn't even announce any new games from Nintendo in that direct. So I think that's very probable in the current situation that they want to hold off for some of these releases until they know they're going to hit their dates, which could mean that we're in for many more of these types of announcements, where the game is announced super close to its release date. Because I think that was probably just as surprising as the Paper Mario announcement itself to a lot of people, the fact that it's coming out like 2 months after its announcement. And there was that bit from the investors meeting where Furukawa was like, yeah, there are games coming in the current period that haven't been announced yet, and kind of similar to listening to leaks. Back then when there wasn't much of anything announced, it was like, oh, sure, dude, of course you're going to say that when people are questioning the lineup. You got your investors listening in. But now, after they just threw something like Origami King with that very soon release date, it's like, yeah, maybe they do have some stuff. I think if we get more of that, if more of these rumblings, rumors, leaks, whatever you want to call them, end up coming true, and they get announced similarly, like, oh, this game is announced, and yeah, it's coming out in a couple months, I think more of that would definitely get the hype train back on the rails. I still think, like I've stated before, if, say, those Mario remasters are legit, that having 1 or 2 of them drop at the same time they're announced would be nuts. You know, you drop like a video detailing the games, the improvements you've made, and at the end be like, oh, and Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, those remasters are available for download right now. I think that could potentially be a huge announcement. So I think this Paper Mario Origami King thing definitely injected some much needed hype into the community. Speculation seems to be running more rampant, with people thinking now maybe that old leak, some of the other leaks we've heard, are going to turn out to be true. Even the people talking about the Metroid thing at the end. That's the kind of stuff I think you want. Even if it's all wrong, at least people are getting more hype about the potential future rather than dwelling on the lack of a major direct or something. I would say for myself, 2020 is saved for now. We certainly need more announcements. Hopefully some of these rumors are going to start panning out, becoming true, to get us closer towards the end of the year, and definitely we need some big stuff to close the year out. I'm telling you, while I see some of these leaks as positives, you know, the Mario stuff, maybe we get Pikmin, all this, they're not big enough games to carry us through the holidays, so we definitely need some big heavy hitters still, but I think this is a good start. I think this Origami King drop has us headed into the right direction. Anyway, with that, this video's a wrap. Let me know your thoughts on this out-of-nowhere Paper Mario announcement, as well as how you think this looks for the future of Switch announcements in the comments. Would you be down to get just more surprises like this? Do you think this is the first of many more to come? And is Nintendo's 2020 about to be saved? Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this discussion on Nintendo potentially switching things up a bit with their announcements for the near future, with hopefully even more game announcements coming soon. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and if you want to keep the conversation going, hit me up on Twitter at JohnnyZakari, and join my Discord, ChiGuy and Friends. I pop into Discord after the release of every video, link to both in the description below, and as always, thanks for watching.